Hey there, Munchie Mafia. Good evening. So today was a very, very busy day. Andy got to do his detonation over there in Baltimore. So if you haven't had a chance to go and take a gander at that, go check it out. It was pretty intense. Um, anyway, so today what we're doing is we're doing um, pork tenderloin. I got some beautiful pork tenderloin at Costco, and these are 5 pounds worth for $17.28. And they're the smaller ones because there's only two of us. And I also got some beautiful oyster mushrooms that I'd already shredded by hand. And what I do is I just take them and I just pull them apart. And then we're going to be doing a blueberry jus, candied carrots, just like we did last week, except for this time you're going to actually get to see how that gets put together a little bit better. And I already cut the potatoes. These are Yukon Gold potatoes. And then we're going to be adding this cauliflower to it to just, brighten it up and lighten it up a little bit. So it just all depends on how much cauliflower you want to actually add. You could actually do more cauliflower and less potato. I like to use the Yukon Golds because they're not very starchy. I'm not a potato person. But we're gonna break this down a little bit because I think this came out to be like a 3 pound, 2 pound, 2 pound head of cauliflower. Whoops. And so we're just gonna take it and we're gonna break it up into some smaller pieces. Ooh, it's got a little bit of purple in it. That's interesting. There is such a thing as a purple cauliflower, by the way. So I don't know what the hell happened here, but it's like this one wanted to be purple or something. I don't know. So you don't really have to do a lot to the cauliflower. Just break it up into pieces. You don't want that stem part, but so just snap it right off, and we're gonna actually add it to our potatoes, and we're gonna boil it. Now, when it comes to cauliflower puree, it can absorb a lot of water, so you want to make sure that when it's all done that you try to get as much of the water out as humanly possible, or else you're going to end up with like a cauliflower soup of sorts. This is a lighter version of mashed potato. I'm making an awful lot because I actually love cauliflower mash. Not cauliflower puree, because that would imply that all it is just cauliflower. So we're just going to get this all put together. I don't know why I did that. There's just some things that I do that I just have no explanation for whatsoever. I'm just a little weird, I guess. So, oh, great. Who's texting me? Oh, got a happy Mother's Day from one of the kids. Can't answer him right now, so I'll answer him later. So, all right. So I hope everybody did have a wonderful Mother's Day for all you mothers out there. Hope that your family spoiled you, took you out, and you got to go and do some fun things and not have to deal with all the cooking and cleaning and all the other motherly things that you might be doing. Let's take a look and see who we have in the chat. We've got Captain Brian. Oh my gosh. Captain Brian's one of our mods. The other mod is Tiger. And then of course we also have Timmy. And he's the button pusher. Let's see here. We've got Viper and Mason and Greg. And that's all we have that's talking for right now. But anyway, so welcome to my kitchen. This is a historic little town that we live in, for those that are new. Population 500 and something, give or take. And this is what a 124-year-old kitchen looks like. So we've got this going. So we're going to actually get this started. I'm going to put those in there. Well, that's about as helpful as I don't know what. So next, we're going to take care of our onion because I don't want to start cross-contaminating my surfaces before getting all my other stuff done. Actually, we're going to do carrots first. So these are baby carrots, and they're rainbow. I've got a bowl of turbinado sugar. Finally got my damn bottle of that bourbon barrel aged maple syrup opened. So these are rainbows. So we've got one purple one. That's all that's left over from last week. So, and you know, it's kind of funny because I really am not fond of carrots, but I sure love a good roasted candied carrot. And we got some of the yellows, and one white left. I'm just gonna do them all because they were damn delicious the last time. I forgot to put the last remaining ones into the refrigerator after dinner last week. So it's like the rest of them went to waste. So I'm just gonna slice these down lengthwise as best as humanly possible. Now, one thing that when you're doing candied carrots, you want to make sure that you have a silpat or a silicone baking. Oh, ding! Can't go one live without making a ding noise. Anyway, so that noise really annoys me. So here we have our carrots. They're looking awful pretty. And you want to give it a pretty good amount of salt to help break up a little bit of that sugar. There's going to be a lot of sugar in this. So this is ground ancho chili pepper. And anchos are not all that spicy, but it adds a really nice smokiness to it that I really like. You can also put some sambal in there for finishing, which is what I'm going to do this time around. Forgot to do it last time. We're going to give it a little bit of that. And this is Crown maple syrup. It's a limited edition. All right, so now we're going to carefully mix these together. Well, it just smells so delicious. You can also put some cinnamon in there if you want. It's up to you. Your carrots. So get this all mixed together. The turbinado sugar is a nice, beautiful, beautiful sugar. You can usually find that in the Mexican food aisle. If your grocery store has a ethnic food aisle where they put all the quasi-Asian stuff and all the common Mexican stuff. All right, so, and this is going to caramelize, and it's gonna be nice. It's almost going to be like a carrot creme brulee of sorts without the creme. So bruleed carrots it is. All right, cut side down, lay them all out. Oh, and by the way, our cast iron pans look beautiful. I've got them in the oven right now. Gave them another layer of oil because we're going to actually transfer the pork tenderloin into the larger one. I'm not sure if I'm Timmy, is it worthwhile to cook both of them, or should I just do one and put the other in the freezer for another day?
Just do one.
Just do one? Okay.
They're big.
Yeah, they are pretty big. That's 2 meals.
Yeah.
Maybe 3. So that's what I'm kind of hoping for is 2 meals. And yes, that looks like an awful lot of meat for 2 people, but you also got to keep in mind we have 2 dogs that love to share our meal with us. So um, they always get little tidbits. All right. Now take a little bit of that. Sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. Sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. Now this is why you want to use a silpat, because unless you don't mind scraping molten lava sugar that's burnt to death all over your pans, get a silpat. You can get them for really cheap nowadays on Amazon. I think this is actually the no-name brand that I got off of Amazon. There's a bunch of sizes that just don't fit any pans that I've got, so it's like it is what it is. Okay, so let's get that sticky bowl out of the way. I'll just set it right there on top of the Ritz crackers. Alrighty, we'll set that aside. Let that get happy. Oh, might as well hit it with a little bit of pepper too, huh? So let's hit it with some pepper. Oh, I might need to get a new pepper mill. All right, let's go back over here. Oh my God, my hands are sticky. I don't like that. I don't like stickies. So one of the things that we're doing next week is going to be like a 2-part, and that's going to, what did I, oh, that's right. Going to be my carrot cake. My carrot cake is very well known around this area, but now that I don't work in restaurants anymore, I work in a jail. Just can't get it anymore. So I'm actually going to share the magic of my carrot cake next week, and then we're going to destroy it with my new toy. And my new toy is an airbrush set that I got for Christmas that I wanted really bad. Never done airbrush before in my life because my hands are just not steady like they used to. So decorating all nice and pretty is not really an option for me anymore. I don't know if it was from the brain tumor that caused that, or just age, or maybe a combination of both, but I just can't do it anymore. Just can't. So, oh hey, Food Boat. There's Food Boat. Welcome, Derek. So next we're going to get an onion. This is just a sweet onion. Sorry, I didn't mean to make really loud ticking noises with my knife. So we want to just give this a good dice. And don't forget your knife safety. Curl your fingers so that the knife blade rests right there and you don't cut off a digit, unless you want to be called Stumpy for the rest of your life. Because there's nothing that can ruin your day quite like chopping a piece of your finger off. There's a question. Can you show them knives? Can you show them the knife and explain why? I don't understand the question. This is a Santoku knife. It's a Dalstrong, and this is an old one. It's seen better days. I also have my Wusthof here, and to do a little bit of the cleaning, I'm going to be cleaning up a little bit of the tenderloin. This is a Mercer. Oops. So when you are doing knife cuts, grab onto whatever it is, and you want to make sure that, I don't know, can we get that overhead camera?
There.
Let's see here. So you want to make sure that it rests on your fingers. I wish I had another camera. We don't have room for another camera that can actually be bolted down to the table for a close up shot. What?
We'll be set up for it as soon as we
Get what?
I
Another
have the
camera?
ability to add 4 more cameras.
Oh, we do? I thought we only had the ability to do 4 cameras. Because we have 4 cameras. We have 2 in front, 1 above, and 1 behind me. I thought that we only had the ability to just do 4. So anyway, so I hope that's what you mean is, make sure that it rests. Oh, oh, okay. So make sure that the knife rests there, because if you're holding on to it like this, if you're holding on to it like this, especially with vegetables, what can happen is your knife can slip, and if you're not paying attention, um, you could end up sliding your food right underneath your knife with your fingers, and without a blink, it's like you're gonna lose at least a fingernail. Um, so knife safety is very important. I think that's gonna be, huh?
There's clarification.
Shape difference. To cut veggies without suction? What? Tiger? Is it cocktail o'clock and I didn't know it? Shape difference to cut. Shape difference. You mean when they're round? I don't understand. Oh, the divots. Okay, so when you're cutting a vegetable that's round, let's see if I have something that's round. Yeah, I do have something that's round. It's called a potato. Where do my potatoes go? Oh shit! Where's my potatoes? Huh? No, those are ones that I have to. Well, we'll just use that one. Um, these ones sprouted, so I was gonna actually take them to the garden. I hope this is what you mean, Tiger. Okay, let me chop that real quick. Okay, so these ones sprouted. So when you have something that's round and can roll around on the board, what you do is you just make a little relief cut right there so that it sits flat. When it sits flat, your vegetable isn't going to move. And if your vegetable's not moving and you've got your fingers curled up with your knife resting up against your knuckle, you're not going to cut your finger off. Unless you're trying to on purpose. And if you're trying to on purpose, maybe somebody needs to do a welfare check on you. I don't know. So, is that what you mean, Tiger? Making it so that you cut a little chunk off the bottom to make it flat, so it doesn't go rolling around on you. Is that what you mean? I don't know, Tiger. So I'm gonna go and plant that. Anyway, so now we have our onions. I hope that's what Tiger meant. Okay, so now we're going to get my big saute pan going. And this is actually a fairly easy dish to do. So I think I turned the thing down to see here. Get in there. Yes, I just stuck my fingers in boiling hot water. Okay, so Oh, that. Okay, so this is a standard chef's knife. This is a boning knife. Huh?
Start over.
I have to try again. Okay, chef's knife. This one's my Wusthof, and this is just a chef's knife. This is a boning knife. This is just a Santoku knife with a Granton edge. Granton, so that you can actually cut stuff and it doesn't stick to the blade, but it does stick to the blade. It's all a lie. All right, let's pull the toolbox away for a moment. All right. I don't know why I've got two bread knives, but I've got two bread knives in here. Then I've got a rocker cleaver. This one's a Rhineland, and it is a rocker cleaver. That's just a utility knife. You just wanted me to clean out my toolbox, huh? This is a slicer. I'm probably going to need that later. Another boning knife. This one's also a Dal Strong. This is my Nikiri. Is this the one you were talking about, my Nikiri? This one's actually a left-handed sashimi knife. This is another slicer. This one's a Mercer. Let's see here. What else do I have in here? Overabundance. Hone. You guys know what a hone is. All right, so I've got those are duplicates. Paring knife. This is a regular paring knife. This one's known as a bird's beak paring knife, and you can see that it's actually curved. This is for more fine detail. Let's see here. What else do I have? Another hone. Why do I have two hones in there? Okay. All right, so I'm not going to dig out all the rest of them. I actually have this really cool thing that I can actually stack all my knives in, and it's pretty cool. So, yeah. I think that's all I've got as far as knives go in the top one. Moving along. All right. Alrighty. So now we're going to check our pan here. It's getting pretty warm. Let's set this aside. Got Italian parsley. I'm going to just go ahead and just mince some of this up real quick while I have this cutting board out, because I don't like to go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, especially when I'm dealing with raw pork. Not that we have to really worry about ringworm or anything like that, or hasn't been a problem in a long time. All right, rough chop. Get the parsley out of my onions. Yeah, parsley in my onions. You got onions in my parsley. Okay, so grab this, set that aside for the moment. Get out a different color board. This is a board that I've had for a long time and just stopped using it because it was a little bit of a pain in the ass. I decided, you know what, I'm going to start using this again. Yes, I know it. I know it's red. Red's for beef, but you know, I don't GAF moment. what matters is that I'm not cross-contaminating. Okay, so I'm gonna just throw that one in the freezer. Save it for next week. Maybe I'll smoke that one. All right, what the hell's going on over here? Turn it up too high. All right, so that's going. All right, where's my scissors? There they are. So they had the huge ones, and I'm like, oh yeah, baby. But I'm like, no, it's gonna be a waste of food. It's gonna take forever and a day to cook. So, oh wait, there's two in here. Okay, so we are gonna cook both of these ones. Alrighty. So sometimes these things come with a lot of silver skin, and this one is actually trimmed up pretty decent, but there is a little bit right here. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna slide the knife in and just go zip, and then you could just go in and zip. You're gonna lose a little bit, but that's okay. Just do your best or do your worst, whichever. All right, get rid of that. What the hell? Oh, it's that pot in the back. All right, there we go. What? Yeah, I will in just a second. I'm trimming meat right now. Just be a second. All right, so trimmy. You just guide it right on in there and go zippy. And zippy. This is, that can just, there we go. Okay. So there's no real practical use for any of this scrap. We do have a little tiny piece of tenderloin for the puppies. There's another scrap. All right. So there we have it. They're cleaned up. And now I'm going to go over here and I'm going to turn that down before the stove burns up. Let's take a gander here. Drop that down to like 8. All right. Getting water all over the place. Tomorrow the kitchen's going to smell like farts. You just watch. Okay. So, wear a pair of gloves. So, now that we've got these all nice and cleaned up, what we're going to do. Hey, mean girl. Welcome. Huh? Hey, Ash, I thought you were going to a concert or something. All right. We're going to sprinkle these with some salt. The ones for the puppies were not because they don't need that. All right. We actually want to be pretty liberal with salt. Meat loves salt. All right. There we go. There we have it. All right. That's a dirty knife. We'll put that over here. I'm going to take this whole mat with us over to the stove. Now, this oil is going to be really hot. So we're going to be very careful. So we're going to lay it down in the pan. We might have to wait for a moment on the other one. Just lay it down nice and gently. Okay. It's going to shrink a little bit. Yeah, better get the puppies ones down in there too. All right. Get rid of the mat. Now what we're looking to do is we're looking to get these all nice and brown. Can you move this down a little bit? Now these little skinnier ones actually cook a lot faster than the huge ones. The bigger ones, you're better off using a very large roasting pan and just oven roasting them. What I like to do is I like to get mine nice and browned up on the stove and then pop them in the oven. Let's see. So yeah, next week it's going to be carrot cake, and I think the following week is going to be the first weekend in June, I believe. Like time sure flies. Seems like it was just yesterday. It was Christmas. All right, go take a gander at the one side. So we're starting to see some browning, but it's just not good enough for me, in my opinion. I like to have a lot more color, and that whole process is a chemical process. When you apply heat to proteins, and the pan will start to get these mealy brown bits attached to it, and it's called the Maillard reaction. See how that one's got a little bit of caramelization right now, but just not quite there. These usually take about 20 minutes. Take a look and see. But see how we got some color to it, but it's just not quite there. I want more color. And it's hard to do on an electric stove. I'm sure if I had one of those really nice pans that Food Boat is selling, this would go a lot better. So we're just waiting it out. Yeah. Trichinosis, yes, thank you. I couldn't remember the freaking name of it. This getting old stuff is for the birds, man. All right, so now we got a bit more color to it. Probably flipped it a little too prematurely, but that's okay. But see how nice and golden that's starting to look. You could see the grain. So when we cut it, we're going to go across the grain, not with the grain, or else you end up with stringies. So the grain on this one is kind of going weird, kind of doing a little zigzag. This one here is going pretty much almost that way, straight across. But wait till you see the sauce that goes with it. Oh my God, it's so good. Oh, the Granton edge, not sticking to the blade. It still does, depending on what you're cutting. Like if you're cutting cucumbers, it's like it's Those things are going to stick to the blade. Where did I put it? There it is. So if you don't have blueberries or you don't like blueberries, you could do other fruit. You could do like one of the stone fruits. You could do cherries. I would pit them first. Figs are always nice. Plums are nice. Just about any stone fruit. But I like the blueberries or the wild huckleberries. Blackberries seem to work okay too. So, oh boy. My kitchen's gonna smell like farts tomorrow. One of the things I hate about cooking cauliflower is the next day, cauliflower and anything that, if I left the cauliflower water on the stove overnight, because the dishwasher wasn't quite done yet or something, or any water that spilled in underneath under the burners, it's gonna start stinking like farts. And the way to, and if you're reheating leftover cauliflower, you open up the bag or the container that you put it in, and you notice that it smells like farts. All you have to do is just apply heat to it, and the fart smell will go away. All right, so we're gonna just sear the side. You flip over too. So look at that. The puppies have got their own little tenderloin, little puppy fillets. They sure love pork though. We had another Tibetan Spaniel, and she was so aggressive when it came to pork tenderloin night. She would like just totally get aggressive about it. Like, where's my bite? Where's my bite? And that's how I was able to actually teach that dog how to shake hands, because she wasn't going to have any of it. Because she would stick her foot up and foot you for another bite. And her name was Sabrina. She's such a lovely dog. All right, so now we got that going all nice and pretty. We're gonna reach into the oven and pull out the large cast iron that's been preheating and smoking, of course. There we go. Let's see how nice and beautiful that pan looks. Pan just looks gorgeous. Nice sheen to it. Now we're going to transfer that over there, because we're going to want to use this over here. Oh, puppies. We've got puppies ones in there too. All right. Now, this is back in the oven. We're going to actually, now that we have the oven open and that going, we're going to put our carrots in underneath on the bottom shelf, and we're going to let those get happy. So now that we've got all of this going on, how much was that 2-pack? It's so expensive here. It was under $18. And if you wanted the extra large one, the extra large tenderloin, we're talking huge. It was like longer than my forearm, or longer than my arm, the entire arm. That was even cheaper. I think it was like $16. That was at Costco. So it was pretty damn cheap. So this is pancetta. This is the leftover pancetta from that I didn't use. So we're gonna drop this right on in there. We're gonna add some extra flavor to it. So let's, oh man, I'm making a mess on my cutting board now. But yeah, just under $18 for that, and each package has two very thin tenderloins, and they're actually really good tenderloins.
Yeah, that was good.
Huh? There's two packs, but each one has two in them. I didn't realize that, but not that I'm complaining any. All right, so we got a lot of browning in this pan. Lots of beautiful browning. So now we're going to add our onions with the pancetta. And get rid of these. Those out of my way. And I don't know where my pretty rainbow spurtle went. It's over here. Oh, there it is. Just, oh, that light's not on. I was wondering why I wasn't getting blinded. Oh, hello. Huh? That's better? Okay, cool. We've got to have our nod to the onesie women and use our rainbow spurtle. I got this at Wajimaya in Seattle. My friend and colleague, chef Gil Pena, we hung out down in Seattle. He learned the hard way that I truly am very, 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 I get sick very easily in moving vehicles. Yeah, and he didn't realize the extent of my motion sickness problem. I even get sick in my own car if I'm not the driver. But I don't get sick on a motorcycle, go figure. All right, so we want to get this nice and crispy and golden. Now we're going to add our mushrooms. Going to have our mushrooms. Go. Get rid of this. Get rid of a little bit of it at a time. And when it goes to plating, then I won't have like a gazillion things all over the damn place. All right. So mushrooms, they have a tendency to shrink down. Oh, whoops. How did I miss that one? So I like them torn. I don't like big chunks of these mushrooms and things because I like to be able to have a lot of them, and it just gives the illusion that there's a lot more mushrooms in it than there really is when you've torn them up. Plus, it looks very cool when they look irregular like that. So now we're going to continue giving this a saute. We're going to give it just a little smidge more oil. And we're going to throw a little bit of salt in there. We want to salt as we go along. That way we can build flavor and build layers. All right. A little bit more evenly. There we go. I just love oyster mushrooms. They had the king oyster mushrooms, but they were like $30 a pound. The morels were $50 a pound, and I'm like, you got to be freaking kidding me! Something that I could actually get in my backyard. Something that my cousin actually got out of her backyard. She lives just south of me. She's like one of a few cousins that I actually have on my father's side of the family that actually lives on the mainland. There's only like a couple of us here in Washington. She lives just south of me, and she sent me a picture yesterday. Happy Mother's Day. I said, Happy Mother's Day. And she's like, is this a morel? I'm like, well, you got to be careful because there are false ones. Break one open and show me a picture. because from what it looks like, it could be edible, it could be poisonous. So break one open for me and show me. And so I explained to her the difference between false morels and real morels. Is that the false morels would be very, very fibrous, and they will not be hollow. I mean, the best way when you're doing wild mushroom identification is to actually do what's known as a spore test before consuming. But you know, there's a lot of great wild mushroom forager groups on Facebook that could help you to understand your area's wild mushrooms, because not all areas have the same mushrooms. So, all right, so this is really shrunk down quite a bit. So now we're going to deglaze a pan. So what we have here is we've got a choice between let's see here, peanut butter whiskey. No, not. Just forget I said that. We've got cognac. We've got sherry. We've got marsala. We've got a red wine, but that's not going to go over very well. I must have used up the last of my white. So what do we want? No, forget I said peanut butter whiskey. Oh, there's my white wine. So we got a Pinot Gris. Yeah, Pinot Gris, a sherry, a marsala, and a cognac. What do we want to deglaze the pan with tonight, guys? I'll let you all pick. I think Andy Marac was the last one to pick, and he did a good call on that. Hey, Oyster. Hey, Andy. Sorry, I didn't see you guys. I was busy over here messing around with this pan. So we've got pancetta, onions, and mushrooms. Oh, shit. I forgot the garlic. Why is it that I always forget the garlic? There we go. Call that a day. All right. Deglaze. What do we want to deglaze with, guys? Cognac, sherry, Pinot Gris, or marsala? I didn't buy beer today. Usually this would have beer. A little of this, a little of that. Oh no, I'm sorry. That was Man Girl, what she planted. Marsala, or no, sherry. So Andy said sherry. So we're gonna go sherry. So we're gonna reduce that down to Ossack. Oh God, I love the smell of sherry. Over here for this is fine. If you're not gonna be gone that long. Okay, so gonna add our blueberries next. Should probably get my butter ready. All right. This smells so good, guys. I wish you guys could smell this. We really need smell-o-vision. Damn it, YouTube. Work on smell-o-vision. That would be so cool. All right. So let's see here. Yes, Andy needs 50 subs in order to be able to go live. So please go out and show him some love. Tiger has just posted the link. All right. All right, so we got still a bit of liquid. Some of that is from the mushroom, some of it's from the sherry still. So we're just gonna let that get happy for a little while. we're gonna go over here and check our cauliflower and stuff. So the way to find out how well your cauliflower is doing is you're going to go in. I've got a pair of culinary tweezers. And just go in there, pokey, pokey, pokey. I'm gonna give it just a little bit, just a little smidge longer. The other thing that I love so much about the Yukon Golds is that, or just using non-starchy potatoes, and using the waxy ones, is that um, you can overcook them and they're not going to just disintegrate. And yeah, okay, so this is starting to reduce. This is really starting to smell really delightful. Yeah, I love the whole garlic cloves. I don't like to crush mine up too much because then you release all the essence of the garlic and usually it ends up mostly all over your cutting board. I mean, I got a garlic press, but still, it's like, it just pulverizes it too much. And then next thing you know, it's like, you just not getting a nice flavor. And it ends up burning, and then you end up having to throw your whole dish away. Okay, so it's starting to turn purple. So next, what we're going to do is, this is just a little bit of chicken broth. I'm going to add the chicken broth to it, about half the can for right now. We're just going to let this start to develop. Along with some rosemary. I have to replant my rosemary bush. It kind of died during the bad. We had a ice storm a few years ago, and it killed a lot of our plant life. One of it was, besides just about killing one of the rhododendrons, it pretty much decimated both of my beautiful rosemaries that I had planted out front. Because every time I would come home, it's like I'd walk past rosemary, and it was just so delightful, just smelling that smell. And did you know that rosemary? Oh, this is bay leaf, by the way. Um, can help with cognition. Just the scent can help with memory. That's why a lot of the memory care facilities, they've found out that it improves memory, just the smell of it. So they started planting it all in the courtyards of these memory care facilities, so that when their dementia residents would go out for a walk outside, they would catch the smell of the rosemary in the breeze. Fun fact. Hey, onesies! Hello! Got your Spurtle out. Look at all the pretty colors. And next month is Pride Month. So we're going to do some beautiful stuff. Do some beautiful foo-foo foods. Lots of seafood. Maybe I'll take you guys on a little journey around Puget Sound. We'll go do some clam digging. All right. So I've poked at this enough times. I don't think I have enough butter. I'm gonna grab another stick of butter. Never have too much butter, right? I mean, we're all gonna die eventually. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to let this reduce down. probably taste it. Keep forgetting my tasting spoons. They're all sitting in a box in the back seat of my car. Mm. So the first taste of that, you get that gentle taste of the rosemary. Then it goes on to the garlic. You can taste the sweetness of the blueberry. You know, it doesn't outwardly taste like blueberry, but it's not supposed to. So $15,000 for the fire truck. My goodness. Timmy hasn't eaten since yesterday. Oh no, I hate to tell you this, but he did eat yesterday. We door dashed. So I was craving cheeseburgers. I've been having problems with my back and my neck. Went to the chiropractor today. I didn't realize just how bad my neck was, but I ended up with this really sore spot like at the base of my skull. And he's like, "Does that hurt?" I said, "Yes, stop it." You know, and so he's like, "Yeah, that's really tight there." I said, "Yeah, apparently so, because that really hurts." And so he was able to get some really good cracks out of my neck. And my head still hurts, but okay, so just gonna tilt this and pray that it stays put. Let's see, there we go. Let it do its draining. Go and check this out. This is just gorgeous. Now, some of the other things that you can do with this, if you want, is you could blister some cherry tomatoes and throw in there. I mean, the color right now is just this deep purple. And you could add other things to it. You could also put bell peppers, like throw some yellows in there, maybe some greens. Yeah, you know, Ash, I'm about ready to plant some potatoes. Some of my potatoes sprouted, and one of the things that I love to do is I love to just take my sprouted potatoes and throw them in a bucket with some dirt and just keep adding a little dirt here and there and here and there and here and there. And then, you know, once when the plant dies, then, you know, I go and dump the bucket out. And I got these little tiny little marble potatoes. Some of them end up getting a little bigger than that, but you know, taking those little marble potatoes and throwing them right into the deep fryer. Oh God, they're so good. They're so delicious. And then you roll them up, you roll them into you know, whatever seasoning. It's like eating popcorn, but without having to dig, you know, the holes from the popcorn out from between your teeth and gums. That's how I had a $300 bowl of popcorn once. Good name for a song, yes. Okay, so let's go take a gander at our pork tenderloins. We probably want to flip them over. So, yeah, we're not allowed grocery bags unless we want to pay 18 cents a freaking grocery bag. So, nope. There you go. So now we're gonna flip this over. Flip this one over. Stick it back in there. I feel like they're pretty close. Probably another 8 minutes. All right. God, it smells so fragrant. Okay, so we want this to really reduce because we're going to start throwing knobs of butter in it. We're going to kill the heat and then throw knobs of butter at it. But we're not going to throw knobs of butter at it just yet. I'm going to actually start pouring the rest of this in there. It's just one can of Swanson's chicken broth, 14.5 ounce. Now, if you like to have other herbs in here, you can also put other herbs. Thyme is always a popular one, but when it comes to thyme, I prefer to use that sparingly because it can be a little strong. I don't like to use dry thyme because it becomes way too overpowering. You have to actually use less. Less is more, right? So that's how it is with a lot of herbs, except for parsley. Dried parsley tastes like grass, like I'm out there chomping down on the lawn. And how many of you all have a stand mixer? Do I find any difference between canned and boxed broth? Yes and yes. Um, if you need just a little tiny bit, like 14.5 ounces worth, it's better to just buy a can. I don't like to use canned stuff much. Um, because sometimes some of those things they taste like can. I prefer the boxed one if I'm not going to make any from scratch. But you can also use the bouillon or the soup base. I don't like the soup base because they're too salty. So I hope that answers the question. If you only need a little bit, go for the can. If you need the whole box, buy the box. Box is better. Fresh or made from scratch is even better. But that's the other thing that you can do is that if you have a wild hair up your ass and you have nothing else better to do with your day, and you just smoked off a bunch of chickens or turkeys or whatever, or have a bunch of rotisserie whole chickens, and you got these carcasses that are already roasted, you can always or cooked. You can always just throw them all into a stock pot, make some stock, let it cool completely, and then put it into mason jars, and then put them in the freezer. But don't fill them all the way up to the brim. That way you can have stock whenever you need it. Just I don't have a lot of room right now for a bunch of stock because I've got a freezer full of stuff. Okay, so now we're to the point where This is starting to really reduce. We're probably going to have a lot of flavor in that. And what I'm going to need is my food processor. So I'm going to get my food processor. Let's see if I can not drop it this time. Now, I'm not going to use a food processor for the potatoes because, well, actually, I am kind of, sort of, but not really. But not really. Because it's just so much easier to use a food processor for the cauliflower. But then just mash the potato by hand. So I should probably get my potato masher if I can find it. Couldn't find my potato masher before and I ended up buying a new one. Now I can't find the old one, or I can't find the new one that I bought, but I found the old one. Oh my God. Birthday's coming up. I am size kitchen remodel. None of my drawers open properly. All right. Just gonna let this continue to do its thing. There comes a time when it says, "Oh, you know what? That's just right there. You can stop now." All right, puppy, you need to go away or else you're gonna turn purple. Go on, scoot, scoot. Go to daddy. Go on, shoo. Go to daddy. Wow, the smell is just phenomenal. Okay, so let's move the parsley out of the way. I'm gonna get my. Hi, Mike. Welcome. Extension cord. All right. Now, I think that's pretty well drained. Go on, baby. Go see daddy. Please go see daddy. All right. So now, just gonna get the cauliflower, and it's starting to really fall apart. So you know it's ready when it's at that point where you just grab it very gently with some tongs, and it starts to crumble. All right. So there's that. This is just gorgeous. Oopsie daisy. All right. Now, like I said, you can do as little or as much cauliflower as you want, but you do need a little bit of the potato to help bind it. But if you're not going to use a potato, you can always use a couple of egg yolks. But if you're allergic to eggs, then you're shit out of luck. Just add the frickin' potato. All right, so this is reduced really beautifully. I'm gonna go and drain this pot because I'm gonna need this pot back. Dump the fart water down the sink drain. Yes, I said fart water. Okay. Get my Candy Daddy trivet. Gotta love cast iron. All right. Now we're gonna just take this. Now there's some little tidbits of cauliflower still in here, but that's okay because they're little tiny tidbits. Oh, come on, guys! Go away! You're killing me. All right. So I'm going to cut the heat off, scoot that off the heat. Because that's the best part of this, best part of the dish, in my opinion. I'll show you how to, go on, chew, scoot, scram, go, run away. Okay, so lid. See if I can line this up properly. All right, let's see if I can blow this food processor up today. Now what we're gonna do is we're going to take some butter. Okay, and take some butter, and we're gonna chop or cut this up into little knobs. Puppy, go away. Puppy,
Come on.
go on, go to daddy. Please go to daddy.
There's Cindy.
All right, little knobs. So this is one full stick. Now, for the amount of mash that I'm making, because this is a few nights worth, probably also lunch. So we're just gonna start slowly throwing knobs of butter in there. All right, now all right, so this is the consistency. It looks very much like baby food. And one of the nice things about this is that the amount of butter that you put in there means that you don't have to put sour cream in there, but always have sour cream on hand just in case. You might need to thin it down a little bit. So we're actually going to put a smidge of horseradish in there. And that is Beaver brand. Hello, Rocky. Okay, Parmesan. I'm going to put quite a decent amount of Parmesan in there. There we go. That's probably about a cup. And then we're going to whizzy it a little bit longer. And then we're going to mash our potato and then integrate the two. Rocky, no one's killing you, bud. The life of a blue and gold macaw. All right, so less is more. So you want to make sure that you don't put too much salt because you're just going to add more as you go along. Little at a time always works best. Okay, so now we got our potato masher. We're going to mashy this stuff. I like to leave the skins on because then it doesn't look, I don't know, maybe it's because as a child we didn't have real mashed potatoes. Maybe that's why I don't like potatoes much. We had boxed mashed potatoes during the holidays. My dad always took the holidays off, and then would proceed to go down to Chinatown to go and get some roast duck and Chinese barbecue pork because on Christmas the restaurants weren't closed. The Chinese restaurants weren't closed down on Christmas because for the most part Christmas dinners weren't all that edible when I was growing up. It was because my dad wasn't cooking on the holidays. He's like, nope, not cooking on the holidays. Not doing it. Pepper. We're going to check our pork, make sure it's not on fire. Our carrots smell like they're burning. All right. And like I said, you know, you get this molten sugar all over your beautiful pans. And it's a pain in the ass to clean. Okay. Sorry, Timmy, not sorry. Okay. Now we're going to marry the two. Shit, I'm wearing some. There we go. And now we're just going to mix the two of these together. And that's basically a cauliflower mash. It's kind of in between a puree, but it has nice, beautiful chunks of potato in it. So I don't know about you, but I'm not all that fond of eating baby food. So, you know, it's light and bright and oh God. Not quite baby food texture, but at the same time it's not full of starch either. So there we have it. And that's how you make donuts. Take a look. Use this one. Always tasty taste. Make sure that you got enough salt. You can use a little bit more. That's so good. You can just barely taste the horseradish. Now you can adjust that if you want more horseradish. You can definitely do that. If you want cheddar cheese, you can also do that. What this also works well with is also doing this if you don't like potatoes either, or you just not fond of it. You can also substitute the potato for sweet potato. But if you do that, what I recommend is instead of using the Parmesan, use some goat cheese. Use a little goat cheese. Goat cheese, oh my God, it's so good. Maybe just a smidge of nutmeg and a smidge of cinnamon. Let me get these out of the way real quick. I'll come right back. Hope y'all are having fun. At least it wasn't too train wrecky today. But you know, sometimes things seem a little cringy when I do it, but you know, it's all right. We're all right. Okay, so scoot this over there for the moment. Get another sleeve, the black one. Drawing spoons. Oh, can't forget this. So this is just chives. You can also use garlic tops. Huh? I do. Andy is coming into town. I haven't heard if Chef and Tim are coming to town. Which chef are you referring to? Me? Oh, me. Me, idiot. Okay. I'm working out. Working out my vacation. I need to. When is Andy showing up. Because I have to use up my vacation by September. Whoa, hello there. That was fun. I have to use up my vacation by September, or else I lose it. Yeah, it's 2 weeks of vacation. It's the weirdest freaking policy. I've never seen vacation time roll over in September before. I don't understand the whole purpose behind that. But see here. I'm kind of lost in the chat. I don't know. Timmy, did Derek answer? I almost cut my finger off, so.
Andy said Derek's doing scheduling.
Oh, okay. Oh, Andy's here too? Which Andy?
Andy Morak.
Oh, Andy Morak. Oh. Oh, okay. So now I'm really confused. Andy Morak and Derek. We're talking about
That Andy.
the other Andy. Okay. Can't keep the Andys straight. We add another Andy, my head might explode. Because there can only be 2 Andys. All right. There we go. All right. So we're going to come back over here. We've let our sauce cool a little bit because we don't want it to be too hot. Our carrots are freaking beautiful. The smell is amazing. Probably going to have to throw the pan away. Let's see here. How am I going to do this? I'm going to need a mitten. That's for sure. Okay, so move carrots. Move Mr. Carrots. Move Mr. Carrot over here. Stick that right there. Pork tenderloin. Our tendies. Oh yeah, those are definitely done. I can tell just by the smell of them. Meat has a certain smell when they are done. Now, contrary to popular belief, you can, in fact, cook these to medium.
Andy's coming
And when?
early July.
Early July to North Carolina?
Yeah.
Or South Carolina? Yeah.
I don't know.
One of the Carolinas.
It's gonna be.
Okay. I gotta check my calendar. Because I think that's when my assistant is taking her vacation. But I will double check. She's got her
South Carolina.
South Carolina, yes. I actually said North Carolina, I'm sorry. Don't mind me. Okay, so now just feel the pan. See how hot it is. Take a little bit of this jus. Sprinkle some of that jus from the pan over to this pan. So, and look at that. Mr. Cast Iron looks happy. I don't want to touch that with my bare hands. Okay, so now it's got some of the jus. And we're going to just start taking the butter. Start throwing it in there. Start taking some of these stems out. Oh, and when you go to rest your meat, whatever side was down in the pan, you flip it upside down and rest it on a rack. Okay? So whatever side was down becomes that side up when you go to rest it. Not aware if it, I'm not sure if everybody is aware of that proper way to rest meat. Flip it upside down. So whatever was touching the hot surface is now facing upward. Okay, so now we're going to take this butter and we're just going to start just stirring it in there. And what it'll do is it will start to emulsify a little bit and it'll be nice and thick. You don't want to add heat to it. You want to let your reduction rest a little bit before doing this because you want to kick some of that heat off of there, but still enough to be able to melt your butter. And this looks like kind of a weird purple color. Yeah, it's because of the blueberries. But trust me, it's really delicious, even though it might look a little off-putting in the pan. Once you put it up against stark white, it actually looks a lot different. I think the one that I did last, which is the picture of the thumb that's in the thumbnail, that one I didn't use a lot of blueberries in it. It was basically just a reduction, and as time went by, I decided, you know what, let's do this the right way. This way, you don't have to do anything with thickening it with cornstarch or a roux. Yeah, it's just a basic butter sauce of sorts. Not really a sauce. It's just, what you could do is if you don't like all the chunks and you don't like the mushrooms, you could then not put in the mushrooms, just do your roasted onion and your, don't forget to take the bay leaves out, and then put it through a blender and blend it all up so you end up with this beautiful purple puree, and then strain it. As if you want. Man, there's a lot of stems in there. Probably should have counted them. All right, so you also want your burner to cool down a little bit when you do this, or else what happens is that your butter melts and then you end up with this weird congealed pool of fat and it's all broken and stuff. And if you're having to hold it for a little while, what you could do is you could slowly add a little bit of reduced heavy cream that's just to steaming, and just slowly drizzle a little bit in and then put it into a thermal carafe. So see how nice and thick that is? And it's purple-ish. You know, those nice, beautiful chunks of roasted garlic. They're nice and soft. And the last of this butter is pretty much just about melted down. By the time that we get done with all the other extraneous bullshit, this meat should be rested long enough to be able to slice and get it all nice and pretty on a platter, and then everybody can go on their merry way. So there we go. There we have it. Is that garlic or is that butter? I can't tell. I think it's garlic. No, it's not garlic. It's butter. All right, so you can also omit the blueberries. Cherries look really pretty. you end up with this vibrant ruby color to it. All right, there we have that. It's delicious. All right, so here's this. And we're going to plate this family style like I usually do. So, hitting spoon. Timmy's like, why are you doing this to me? Why can't I just have just a plate of the mash and just call it a day? I just want a plate of mash. I don't want these cute little football looking things that I have to destroy in order to get it on my plate. That's exactly what he's thinking, isn't it? All right. Normally I wouldn't bookend, but I'm bookending. And bookending is when you put the exact amount on each side. Normally I don't do that. Normally I offset it because I'm opposed to symmetrical. All right. I've lost my tweezers. I have lost my tweezers. Timmy, do you see my tweezers? Hello, tweezers. Yeah, my tweezers. I think I did this last week too. All right. These things eat like candy, by the way. I'm making a mess. Top side up. Hey. All right, here we go. And Timmy likes his pork cooked well done, so you can cook it to medium. It's perfectly fine. Tax. Oh my god. Oh, that is nice. Oh god. Sorry, I'm having a moment here. Oh, really good. All right. Mm. Like I said, it's a purple color. And there we have it. A little bit smidge more on top. There we go. It's just for show. It's just for show. It's just how I like it. There we go. It's just for show. Plus, when you lay it out, you can fan it out nice and pretty if you wanted. I just don't have room on this one. I should have used my other platter. So that's that. Let me move this out of the way. So everybody, I hope you all like that. The color might be a little bit off-putting, and it looks a little weird, being kind of purple, but it actually is really delicious. So if you wanted, what you could do is you could, cook the mushrooms separate, and then blend the rest of it all together. So we'll get the money shot over here. Oh, and don't forget, we got Pearl Party coming up soon. I want to, emphasize that the Pearl Party is not part of any multi-level marketing scam. We're just doing it just for the fun of it. I'm not selling anything. It's just for fun, something for us to do that could be fun and engaging, and we can socialize and have a fun time playing Cards Against Humanity and winning a pearl, you know. And so that's all it is. It's just for the hell of it. It's just for the hell of it. We're not selling anything. It's just for, you know, something fun. So that's what we have. This beautiful pork tenderloin with a cauliflower mash and candied carrots and a really gorgeous sauce that, oh my god, those mushrooms are screaming at me. So Munchie Mafia, are there any questions before we go bye bye for the night? Anybody? Anybody? You're going to bed hungry now. I'm sorry, Derek. Um, so anyway, this mash is really good. So like I said, you can put as little or as much potato in it as you want. You can also do this with sweet potatoes. Now, if you really wanted to get fancy, you could do the purple cauliflower. It'll be this beautiful lavender color. But if you're going to do that, make sure that you use russet potatoes with it. And that way, it doesn't dilute the color so much that it looks like a crime scene. So anyway, as far as everything else, I've already told you about carrot cake, told you about the pearl party. I don't know if anybody's gotten their pearls. Yes, we send the pearls to you, along with a sticker. So yes, you get stickers. So shout outs. We've got our Captain Brian, and we've got our main girl and Mason Hiffner. And then we also have Andy Marak and Viper and Derek of the Food Boat. So their links, I believe, are all on my outro. Did I say Andy Marak?
Yes.
Yes, I did say Andy Marak. And so if you're not on there and wish to be, just send me an email, munchiemafiaofficial@gmail.com, and just let me know, and I will get you on there. So anyway, my lovelies, it was a wonderful night. I hope you all enjoyed this. And please, if you do go ahead and cook this at home, take a picture and send it to me. Again, munchiemafiaofficial@gmail.com. It's a lot of words. So, Munchie Mafia, remember to always cook with love and eat with passion. Thanks a lot for coming. Have a good night.